Good morning and welcome from a very foggy Monday morning here in the UK. And it is great to be here. I wasn't here on Friday because on Friday I was in Vienna at the first on-stage event that we've been able to have in person for a good many years. So if I am looking this morning a little bleary-eyed and a little hungover, not from alcohol, but from all the excitement, the travel, and all of those things, then believe you me, that's how I'm feeling this morning. Just a little weary, but we need to come on and do a little bit of crafting, but it will be short and sweet today, just because my head is ready to explode with all the exciting things that I've come back with, and my craft room is bursting at the seams. So I need to get on and do some of that later. But for now, I thought we would come on and say hello. And I have wearing for you my beautiful, flashy coronet, floral coronet that I was given as a gifted while we were away. So I thought I'd bring a little bit of on stage to our live this morning. So welcome in. Do come on and say hello if you are joining us, and let us know where you are joining us from. And very big welcome. Let me just pop up some of my slides. There's lots of things to tell you about today. There seems to be lots of things happening. But first of all, if you have not come across me before, then this is me, Love-a-Duckie. So my name is Helen Jennings, obviously here in the UK, and this is my website, www.loveaduckie.co.uk, and that's where you can go and find links to all things Love-a-Duckie, whether that's links to shops, links to tutorials, links to classes, blog posts, all of those things you'll find over there on my website. And classes and things will be starting to be planned for 2023 now that I have my hands on the new mini catalogue. But let's have a quick look at some of the classes that are coming up in the next little while. Let's have a look. We have here the mega stamper stack in the middle here, which is, we have a stamper stack class every month, but this month is going to be a mega one. So rather than having 6 cards with 3 each of each design, we're going to have 10 cards with 5 each of 2 designs, so extra cards. So there'll be quick and easy cards that we can make more of, just so that if you're looking for those that final little push towards getting your Christmas cards done, that will hopefully help you. We've got a thank you in a box coming up in December, 13th of December. This is nearly always my last class of the year. It's become quite a tradition. We'll make a little set of thank you cards, and they'll be in some sort of box and container. That means that you can either keep them to yourself to send us thank you cards in the new year, or you can gift it as a last minute gift to friends and loved ones. So that is always a nice class. So that is the last one, tends to be the last one of the year. But before then, there are still more to come. We have a Saturday Stampers this Saturday. If you really would like to come to that, do let me know. I'm sure I haven't started cutting cards and things. I'm sure we can squeeze you in. We can find you a seat at the table. But obviously, if you want to order any extra stamp sets or anything to go with your kit, they would need to follow on, but you would be more than welcome to come and join us on the day. Let's I'm just seeing if I can bring up, here we are, other classes that we have got coming up. Oh, I need to change this Sun Prince one. That's not right. I need to change the picture on that, because the next kit class we've got coming up is going to be Bottled with Happiness, and that is at the beginning of December. We did the Sun Prince one just before I went away, so we need the Bottled with Happiness kit class to be put in there. So that's the next one up. Oh, these are all need changing. We've got the evening class will be the evening mega stamper stack, but The Completely Crackers Christmas Crafty Games Night is indeed correct picture there, and that is coming up on the 2nd of December. So do book your place to come and join us for a really fun evening. And note to Helen, she needs to update this slide. Okay, what else have we got coming up? So some exciting things coming up. There is going to be a sale on selected products from the 2022 to 2023 annual catalogue. So you can get 10, 15 or 20% off different products in the annual catalogue, and that is starting tomorrow and will run until the 18th. So don't miss out on that, and I will show you the extensive list in a minute of all of those brilliant things that you can get. So that is well worth checking out on my online store starting from tomorrow. And one of the other, we've got the fitting florets that are available currently. That's a sort of out of publication offer that you're going to get your hands on. Beautiful papers, great stamp sets, lovely dies, a beautiful collection. So do check out the online store and have a look at that. Some of it, so the stamp set, this floral stamp set in the front and the dies are going to be carrying over into the new mini catalogue. But this beautiful paper and these festive sentiments and the twirly whirly gold embellishments are not going to be available after the end of the year. So you do need to get your hands on those if you want them sooner rather than later. I'm just looking along all my slides. I think the only other one I need to bring up now is this one, which is grab yourself some kits today. And it's a good time to start looking at the kits because we've got another new kit that's going to be launching, and I believe that is tomorrow as well. There's a lovely selection of kits now available on the online store, and kits are brilliant if you are crafting on the go, if you are looking for something to give as a present at Christmas. They're fabulous. There's a whole variety of things there, from some sort of memory keeping stuff to home decor stuff, as well as card making kits that are suitable for all ages, all stages. There's some really good things there. So do check them out for presents. And as I say, there is a new kit that is going to be launched this week. And I will give you a quick sneak peek because we had a bit of a play with that on stage. I'll give you a quick sneak peek of some of the projects you can make with that kit in just a minute. So phew, lots to think about. Classes with me, sales, things to get your hands on before they disappear forever, things to get your hands on if you want just a quick and easy crafting, or if you're looking to craft with a friend, or indeed you want to stack up on crafty presents to give at Christmas. So there is something for everybody in that little lot. But let us bring our camera down, and oh, we have some of a bit more of a taste of on stage with badges, and we have a badge here to celebrate the fact that Stampin' Up has now been in the European market for 15 years. So we've been around in Europe for 15 years. I've not been a demonstrator that long, not quite. It's just 9 for me, but 15 years of Stampin' Up in Europe. So that's something worth celebrating. And some of my badges and things that I was wearing with pride over the last few days. And obviously, the European market has just expanded. So we are now operating in both Belgium and in Ireland. So if you happen to be coming across us from either Belgium or Ireland, welcome to the family. And yeah, do feel free to come and join in and to enjoy all the inspirations and to shop with us, to host with us, and indeed to join the family. All of those things are now options if you are either in Belgium or Ireland, and I would love to help you with any of that. These are the two designs of cards that are in that new kit, which is, my brain is now going to be completely fried and forget the name of the kit. Let's see if I can dig out the flyer. if I have one. It's gone. It's something. It's something to do with time. It's a play on the word time. I told you it's a little bit sort of, yeah, punch drunk this morning. It might be time to celebrate, which is what indeed that is just there. As you can see, a great masculine kit. And this is, I don't know how well that's picking up, these backgrounds are all silver foil. So you've got your silver foil fob watch and your silver foil globe, and your little stamp to stamp your world on, and your stamp to stamp your clock face on. And you've got these twirly whirly bits and embellishments, all sorts of things. So a really nice masculine kit, and you can create 8 cards from that, 4 of each design. The background to the card bases here are sort of quite a nice mottled speckly effect. And there are 2 different styles of envelopes. This one has got the chevron-y one on, which matches the chevron-y pattern on that black just there. And likewise, the pattern on the envelope matches the pattern on the black background there too. These really nice sort of diamond metallic embellishments. So great little kit, and that is available from this week and is added to all the other great kits on the website, so do check those out. Seasonal sale, I promised to show you the huge list of things that are in the sale. So as you go through punches, all that list of punches, 10% off punches. Stamps, there is 15% off of stamps. I think the only stamps not included from the annual catalogue are the host sets. Dies, there are 20% off dies. You can see all of these lists of dies, and 20% off embossing folders. And last but not least, 20% off the designer series paper that isn't speciality. So the speciality paper hasn't got a sale on it, but the ordinary designer series paper. Ordinary? What's ordinary about our designer series paper? Nothing. But it is 20% off if it's not speciality. So good time to stack up on all of these things. A good time to look through and see, you know, what those little bits are that you really want to get your hands on but haven't quite managed to yet. And perhaps a really good time to nudge, you know, the Father Christmas in your household, that you might want to buy you some lovely bits. So don't miss out on that sale. To say that is from tomorrow, from the 15th until the 18th. So you want to get your hands on that. Now, that's a whole lot of talking, a whole lot of exciting things to take on board. But what I thought I'd do today, with a little bit of a nod to my trip to Vienna, is that I would recreate for you my swap card. Now, if you don't know what swaps are all about, if you hear people talking about swaps and you don't know what they are all about, we all get together as a community at these events, and I made 50 cards like this. Other people might make more, might make less, they might do 3D items, all sorts of things. I'll show you my box of swaps that have come back. Just remove a few things. So I went with 50 cards like that. I've come back with a box of things like this. So 3D items, different cards, all sorts of things. I did have some little gifts from people as well that they've made me, but just a whole box full of inspiration. And that's the idea, is that, you know, you will gather in. I will swap one of these with somebody for something that they've bought, and what I will come home with is lots of inspiration of different ways of using stamp sets that I hadn't thought of, different techniques that I might want to use, and they are great fun. But I thought I would show you the card that I made and how I went about making it, and that would be my share for today. So I deliberately went with the stamp set from the annual catalogue because we're creeping nearer to Christmas, and lots of people may have already made their Christmas cards and want some inspiration for things to do beyond. And I also deliberately picked out some sentiments. So this one says reaching out with friendship and caring, and all along this stripe just here, strip just here, is the word smile. And that for me summed up what On Stage is all about: meeting up with fellow demonstrators, people you haven't seen for a long while, people that you've never met before, and sharing a smile across the languages, across the country borders, whether they were Austrian, whether they were German, whether they were French, whether they were American. There were Australians there were ladies from Canada, so ladies from all around the world, and we were able to share our love of what we do and our love of Stampin' Up, and swapping is just a really big part of that. So this is my swap. On the back I've got a sticker that lists everything that I've used in my card, but let me show you how I set about creating these cards, because obviously when you're creating 50 of something, you need to be able to make them fairly quickly, really, if you are busy with other things as well. So my little card here started out as a strip of basic white. So here I have a strip of basic white. It is the full width of A4, so it is 21 centimeters wide, and I cut the cardstock into sort of 4 strips, so that is a little under 7.5 centimeters for each one. But in terms of measurements, I've sort of thought, 7.5 ish, because obviously I cut my card in half at 14.9. Well, actually it's 14.85, isn't it, which would make it 7.425, I think, would be the official measurement of this strip of card. But you don't have to be that precise, I don't think. Potted Geraniums, I love this stamp set. It is a 2-step stamp set. I haven't used the pots. I didn't worry about the pots. I've just gone with the flowers growing up along my strip of card. So you've got 2 leaf stamps. You've got the sort of outline image one and the infill stamp, and then the same with the flowers. You've got the outline piece just there and the infill piece just there. You can see that they are well loved. Let's grab these stamps out. Here are our leaf stamps. Let's start with those. Let's find some blocks. I think if we put that one on there, then this one, will this one go on to the C block? Not quite. Will it go on to a H block? Not quite. I think we're going to have to wait and swap those blocks around in a moment, but we can do that. So I started with some Granny Apple Green. And let's ink up this stamp. And I just stamped along this strip, sort of nestling them in against each other. Okay, so we've got a whole little strip of the outline leaves just there. Let's bring in the infill leaves. And for these, I used Pear Pizzazz. Now, did go full image. I'm trying to remember whether I went to full image on these. Full strength, I did. So we're going to line that up. And we're just going to come along and stamp in. The infill piece. And there we go. So now we've got a strip that is filled. Were there any men demonstrators at onstage? There were indeed. We have there were at least 2 from the UK, which was Jay and Barry. There were a few husbands there, so husbands can be a sort of see brain dead. You can have your spouse as sort of like your partner in crime, if you like, and they can pay to come to on stage as well. But there are certainly men around the world, and there certainly were some there. So yes, there were indeed not many. They were greatly outnumbered. I think that would be fair to say, but they were there, and it was a great delight to see Jay being created one of the new artisan design members for next year, along with Heather and Michaela from the UK. So yes, there were men there, but as I say, greatly outnumbered. Right, let's take our little stamp set. This is the detailed flowery piece, and I'm stamping this in real red along here. And then for the infill piece of the geraniums, I'm going to take some sweet sorbet. Now the sweet sorbet I'm going to stamp off. If you could have seen my mat when I'd finished making 50 cards, it looked like a bloodbath. It looked like a massacre had taken place on my crafting table. We're going to stamp that off and stamp that over the top of these flowers here. It's fairly sort of, you don't have to be too precise and worry too much. It's very forgiving. So there we have our little row of geraniums. So that's our starting point. Let's pop those over there. I'm going to need my granny apple. No, I'm going to need my pear pizzazz again in a moment. So what I then did was I took that strip, so around about 7.5 inch deep, 21 centimeters wide. So I'm now going to cut it into 7 centimeter strips. Like this. And let's bring in a sentiment, and I used reaching out with friendship and caring. You could obviously do different ones, wishing you happiness today and always. for the lifetime of love you've given me. I could have a thank you here for you every step of the way. Lots of nice little greetings in that stamp set. But let's stick with our reaching out with friendship and caring. Pop that on a block. And then our Pear Pizzazz ink. And then let's stamp on each of these. And obviously you might want to alter where you're going to stamp just because of where the flowers are sitting. There we are. So out of a sheet of A4 card, obviously we're going to have 4 strips. So 4 lots of 3. So you will get 12 little toppers like this out of a sheet of basic white A4 card. Now you could use lots of different sort of stamp sets with that. That might be a good idea to use something similar to create some Christmas cards. Just stamp something along the bottom of a strip, add in a sentiment, cut them up, and then you can back them and create a Christmas card using something similar. But let's bring in the rest of the elements of this card. So we've got some Pear Pizzazz cardstock here. So these are 7.5-ish by 7. So the Pear Pizzazz is 7.5 by 8. So let's stick that on there. I won't make up these ones just yet. We'll put those to one side. Like that. So there is our little floral topper. Now we want our other little elements to come with it. So just grab my ruler. This is a 2 centimetre. It's looking a bit fuzzy. I'm going to just give it a little bit of a haircut. So it is a 2 centimetre strip of sweet sorbet card, which is 14.9 long, because we're going to have that to sit on our down the full length of our card base. And I'm going to take this tiny little stamp here that says smile. There's other little things in there that say friend, just for you. You could have a thank you. But I'm going to take the smile and the sweet sorbet ink and just randomly stamp smile down the length of this strip. We don't need to worry too much about the middle because that is going to be covered up. So let's come back down to the bottom and just start stamping upwards. There we are. I think that will cover what we need covering. And there we have smile coming down the entire length, apart from that little blob in the middle. So then we just need to sort out our card base. So here I just have a thick basic white card base, piece of cardstock cut in half, folded in half to create your card base. And I have got the Splatters 3D embossing folder. Now this is part of the duo of splatters and stripes. So I've picked the splatter one. You could obviously have stripy ones or whatever you do fancy. And I'm just going to sit the front of my card in that splattery embossing folder. Don't want it necessarily the full length. It is a little bit of a guesstimate. How far across do you want it? I think about that is the answer. And I am now going to run that through my machine that way so that I don't get any marks on the back of my card base. So obviously 3D embossing folder, we need the number 1 base plate, and that will just sit on there. Oops, sorry, battering you. And then we need the number 4 plate on the top. I will run that through my machine. Just like that. So now we haven't just got a plain card base, we've got a white card base that has this embossed detail down one side. So we are going to just take our strip of this Tombow that I am using is obviously on its last legs. I think we've got enough out of there. And we're just going to stick that on there. Now, obviously, this swap here, I had got to get 50 of those into my carry-on hand luggage. So I wasn't going to be adding too much dimension and things to them. But I think we could add a bit of dimension to this one. We could perhaps add in some dimensionals to raise it up. All little dimensionals there, that's fine, we'll use those. And I might also just digging around, looking to see. I will be with you in one moment. I have had so many classes and things going on just before I went away that got sort of odds and things all over the place. I might come in with some silver thread. And some decorative dots. Let's have a look. And we'll take this up to the next. Let's take it up to another level, just because we can. And let's have a bit of a tweak with this. These where we want them to go. Bring in a glue dot. Popped a glue dot on the top of that bow because I want to decide where I want it to go in relationship to our little topper. I will stick it to the back of the topper rather than to the front of the card. I'm going to add some mini dimensionals on the back to raise this up. Take the backs off. And pop it on a little bit of an angle across there. It's coming down here. Let's open up our 2022 to 2024 in colour matte dots. I've only got one little sweet sorbet one on there, but let's use that anyway. We have it on the card base. Yes, let's bring in a couple down here. So there we are. So we've just added a little bit more embellishment to that swap card that I took with me to Vienna. So really pretty. So not at all Christmassy, because there's still things going on, and geraniums are really quite good, aren't they, at keeping on going past the height of summer. So there's yeah, there may be reasons why you might want to send a really lovely geranium card in November, and you could swap those colours out for people's favourite colours. As I say, but you could use that technique of creating strips of card to create quick and easy Christmas cards if you are looking or struggling to fulfill your quota of Christmas cards that you need to be making this year. Right, let's come on back. I'm going to leave you there today. As I say, it has been a fabulous few days, and for any of you that sit on the fence about joining the Stamping Up family, yeah, please don't, because these events are so fabulous, and it is so wonderful to be in the same building as 700 other people that all share the same passion that you have, and cheering and laughing and just enjoying the atmosphere. So yeah, bit weary today, but very happy. So do consider joining the family and joining us for the next on stage event. Come along and join the fun. Why shouldn't you be there as well, getting freebies and seeing beautiful demonstrations of wonderful projects and sharing the fun with others? So yeah, if you are interested, do reach out, and I'll be more than happy to help you get your ticket to the next on stage. So thank you for joining me today. We should be back to relative normality on Friday, whatever that looks like. And the one thing I will say is I do need to let you all know, I had 4 or 5 people say to me, oh goodness, I thought you'd be much taller. Tall is one thing I ain't. I only come in a 5'2" package if I'm lucky. That was at my height of my height. It's all downhill from here. So no, I am not tall. So if you're looking for me at an event, don't go looking up there. I'm going to be down here. So that's something that really made me smile. So yeah, so if you have visions of me being taller, I'm really not. But yes, have a lovely, lovely week, everybody, and I will be back on Friday, hopefully with a few less bags under my eyes.